When you're changing attributes, so we're only going to be changing attributes for prisms, not for cylinders. So for prisms, here's the good news. Volume is super easy. When it's changing attributes for volume, you just do whatever it did to that one side. So if the length is cut in half, the whole volume is cut in half. If the width is doubled, the whole volume is doubled. If the width is tripled, the whole volume is tripled. So it's really, really easy. So the only thing that you have to worry about for volume is if they're increasing or decreasing. Surface area is a whole nother thing. So surface area, you actually have to calculate. And I'm going to show you why. All right, here's example number 1. So what would happen to the volume if the length changes from 10 inches to 30 inches? So first of all, you need to find the length, which is down here. So if it changes from 10 to 30, that's essentially the same thing as it being tripled, right? Because now this is going to happen 3 times. So you would have him, there. So it's like 3 times. Well, I guess it would be on top of each other like this. So now, if the length changes from 10 to 30, this is now 30. But the width did not change and the height did not change. So all we're doing, if you look at it, we just take this volume and it's now tripled. So we would say, okay, easy. The volume has tripled. And we know that because 10 times 3 is 30. Now, if they want us to actually go up, and I would say, honestly, just to, because volume's super easy, right? Length times width times height. The first one that they gave us was 25 times 4 times 10. And if I put that in my calculator, I believe it's 1,000 inches cubed. Versus if I put the volume of the 30, it would be 25 times 4 times 30. So once again, all I did was change this number now to 30. And according to our theory, or what we just said, it should be tripled. So the volume should go to 1,000 times 3, 3,000. So let's actually put it in our calculator. So 25 times 4 is 100. 100 times 30 is 3,000. And that is true, inches cubed. So it does happen. So once again, if in doubt, go ahead and just calculate it out. All right, number 2, what would happen to the volume if the width is changed from 4 inches to 2 inches? So now we're changing that guy. So first of all, 4 divided by 2 is 2. So once again, if it happens to one side, it happens to the whole volume. So if the width is changed from 4 and it's divided by 2, then the whole volume will be cut in half. Right? Because I cut that side in half. So let's actually calculate it to make sure that's a true statement. So the first one would be volume equals 25 times 4 times 10. And if we put that in our calculator, that's 1,000 inches cubed. If we change that 4 to a 2, we would do the exact same thing. Volume equals 25 times 2 times 10. Volume equals 25 times 2 is 50. 50 times 10 is 500 inches cubed. So once again, let's see if that actually makes sense. Is 1,000 or is 500 half of 1,000? Yes. So this is true. Now here's the thing. You can only change one attribute at a time. So you can only change the length or the width or the height. You can't change all 3 at one time or things get crazy. So make sure you're careful about that. So like I said, volume, super duper easy. Surface area is the exact same thing, except for this time we're going to calculate what happens to the surface area. So once again, this is changed to 30. So it's tripled again. However, the surface area is not going to just be nice and tripled. No, that's only true for volume. So let's go ahead and calculate the original. So the original surface area would be 2 times length times width, 2 times length times height, 2 times height times width. And then we would plug in. Let's see. 10, 4 plus 2, 10, 25 plus 2, 25, 4. Then we'd break it up like we always do. That would give us 80. That would give us 500. That would give us 200. And then we would add it up. So that's 780 inches squared. So that's just our original. That's how much this one is. Okay. If we tripled the length, aka this bottom, so we would just take this exact same thing, and now we're just gonna line it up nice and neat. Oh, that's one too many. All right, so we do this exact same thing. However, this time the height has not changed. It's still 25 inches. The width has not changed. It's still 4. However, this has now changed the length to 30. So now let's calculate the surface area of that. The surface area is 2 times length times width, 2 times length times height, 2 times width times height. Okay. 2 times the length is now 30. The width is 4. Plus 2 times the length is 30. The height is 25. Oops, 25. Plus 2, 25, 4. All right, so now we calculate. 2 times 30 is 60, times 4 would be 240. Plus 2 times 30 is 60. Times 25 is 1,500. Plus 50 times 4 is 200. And then we'd add them all up again. 240 plus 1,500 plus 200 gives us 1940 inches squared. So if I look at it, my original was 780, and then my my new one is 1,940 inches squared. That is not tripled, nothing. So all you would say is you actually have to calculate it, and you'd say, okay, so 1940 minus, what was it, 780. So it increased by 1,160 inches squared. Okay, so you have to be precise on surface area. Let's do one more surface area. So from the get-go, if we're cutting 4 into 2, we know it's going to decrease, right? We know it's going to decrease. We already found the surface area of the original in the last problem, and it was 780, so we don't have to do that again. So the original is 780 inches squared. And now let's calculate it if we cut this into 2. So surface area equals 2 length height plus 2 length width plus 2 width height. Length is 10, height is 25. Length is 10, width is 2, height is 25. Okay, so then 2 times 10 is 20. 20 times 25 is 500. 2040, and that looks like 100. So all together, my surface area is 640 inches squared. So let's see if we were right. So yes, it did decrease, and then we actually have to calculate it. So 780 was the original minus 640. So it decreased by 140 inches squared. And that's it. So remember, volume, super easy. Surface area, you actually have to calculate.